Namaskar friends. In this video, we will learn about the subject Basic Electrical Engineering, Unit number 4, Electrical Machines. The major topic is three-phase induction motor. An induction motor is an AC electric motor in which the electric current in the rotor needed to produce torque is obtained by electromagnetic induction from the magnetic field of the stator winding. The induction motor is maintenance free and has high overloading capacity. Advantages: simple construction, robust, reliable, mechanically rugged, no carbon brushes used and no sparking, can be operated in hazardous environment also, high starting torque, good speed regulation, reasonable overload capacity, high efficiency, low cost as compared to DC motor, less maintenance, etc. Due to all these wide advantages, three-phase induction motor nowadays used in multiple applications like compressors, blowers, industrial fans, cooling towers, water pumps, conveyors, elevators, machine tools, textile mills, rolling mills, grain mills, and so many other industries. Three-phase induction motors are heavy in power consumption, hence it is utilized for heavy loads. So these types of motors are majorly used in industries. Classification: depending upon the design of rotor, there are mainly two types of three-phase induction motor, namely squirrel cage induction motor and slip ring induction motor. This slip ring induction motor is also known as wound rotor motor. Construction: as seen from this figure, the induction motor has many parts, but the major parts are stator and rotor. Now let us understand the function of these different parts in a detail. Stator frame. The function of this stator frame is to protect the inner parts and support the core. The function of stator core is to provide housing to the stator winding. The function of stator winding is to produce rotating magnetic field. The function of rotor core is to provide housing to the rotor bars. The function of rotor bars is to produce rotor current. The function of end ring is to provide closed path to the rotor bars to produce rotor current. The function of air gap is to provide the gap between stator and rotor. The function of slip ring is to connect resistances to rotor circuit via brushes. These resistances are external resistances. The function of brushes is to provide connection between external resistances and slip ring. The function of shaft is to transfer mechanical power. The function of bearings is to provide mechanical support to shaft for free rotation. The function of terminal box is to provide housing to supply connections. The function of cooling fan is to provide cooling. And the function of fan cover is to protect the cooling fan from external bodies. Now see from the figure. A three-phase induction motor is mostly the squirrel cage induction motor, which is widely used in industrial applications. It has mainly two parts, stator and rotor. The figure besides represents the stator part of the motor. The stator is a stationary part. It is built up of high-grade alloy steel laminations to reduce eddy current losses. It has three main parts: outer frame, stator core, and stator windings, as seen from the figure beside. Frame is the outer body of the motor. For small machines, it is casted, but for the large machine, it is fabricated. The stator core carries three-phase windings. It is built up of high-grade steel stampings. Stator windings are housed in stator slots with double layer windings. These windings are distributed and are mostly short pitched. The stator is bound for a definite number of poles depending on the speed of the motor. The windings may be connected in star or delta. Now rotor. It is the rotating part of the motor. It is built of thin laminations of the same material as the stator. The laminated cylindrical core is mounted directly on the shaft. These laminations are slotted on the outer side to revive the conductors. There are two types of rotor, squirrel cage and slip ring. Now let us try to understand squirrel cage rotor. As seen from the figure, squirrel cage rotor consists of laminated cylindrical core. The circular slots at outer periphery are semi-closed and contains uninsulated bar conductor of aluminum or copper. At the end of rotor, the conductors are short-circuited by heavy ring of copper or aluminum. This type of motor is widely used. It requires low maintenance also. Next is slip ring rotor or wound rotor. A wound rotor is built with a polyphase distributed winding similar to that of stator winding and wound with the same number of poles as stator. The terminals of rotor windings are connected to insulated slip rings mounted on the shaft. Carbon brushes bearing on these rings make the rotor terminals available external to the motor. Wound rotor induction machines are relatively uncommon, being found only in a limited number of specialized applications. These type of motors are widely used where high starting torque is required. The cost and size of this type of motor is more and large respectively. Now working of induction motor. For simplicity, consider one conductor on the stationary rotor as shown in figure A. This conductor be subject to the rotating magnetic field produced when a three-phase supply is connected to the three-phase winding of the stator. Consider the rotation of the magnetic field be clockwise. A magnetic field moving clockwise has the effect as a conductor moving anti-clockwise in a stationary field. According to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, EMF will be produced in the conductor. By completing the rotor circuit, either using end rings or external resistances, the induced EMF causes current to flow in conductor. By using Fleming's right-hand rule, we can determine the direction of induced current in the conductor is outwards, which is shown as dot in figure B. The current in rotor conductor produces its own magnetic field as shown in figure C. When a current carrying conductor put in a magnetic field, a force is produced. This force is produced on the rotor conductor. The direction of this force can be determined by using Fleming's left-hand rule as shown in figure D. It is seen that the force acting on the conductors is in the same direction as the direction of the rotating magnetic field. The rotor conductor is in a slot on the circumferences of the rotor. The force acts in a tangential direction to the rotor and develops a torque in a rotor. Similarly, torque produces in all the rotor conductors. Since the rotor is free to rotate, then It rotates in the same direction as the rotating magnetic field. Therefore, three-phase induction motor is a self-starting motor. Friends, if you have any query, you can email us on bhavin.kanani@darshan.ac.in. For more details, you can visit our website www.darshan.ac.in.